Welcome to Geek Out, the brand new game show brought to you by the enthusiastic nerds over at Hot Chocolate Media and So You Want to Be an Imagineer. My name is Jacob Gulliver, and I will be your host and moderator for this evening. In this new format, we present a celebration of the fandoms we love with a dash of competition thrown in to keep things interesting. Our hope is that you've tuned in to join us for some trivia tonight and play along with us from whatever corner of this big blue planet you're in. No matter who wins tonight, we all win when we get to share in that rare opportunity to geek out together. On to the topic of the evening. Yeni velinte yuldar avanye mi oromar delice mirobovareva. Or translated from Quenya, the years have passed like swift draughts of sweet mead in lofty halls. It seems as though just yesterday we were scrambling to the theater to see Return of the King, and yet somehow 2023 celebrates its 20th anniversary. That's right, in celebration of this grand observance, this episode will be testing our pop culture knowledge of the film adaptations of J.R.R. Tolkien's works, the amazing people behind them, and their impact on popular culture writ large. We'll get a little book stuff in too, don't worry. Sounds like an ideal topic to geek out over together, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's meet our contestants for the evening. Before we get started, let's say hello to our geek champions. Yay! Hello, Laura. Hello, T. We'll start with Laura.
Hi.
In reference to the topic at hand, what do you consider your areas of expertise?
Weird, obscure film references and the Silmarillion.
Okay, sounds good. How about you, T? What would you consider your areas of expertise?
I'm more of a book person. Although I love the movies, and what I loved about the movie pieces was the extended edition and the commentaries that Peter Jackson and the team kind of walked us through the making of, and that was just a joy to hear all the characters and actors and producers and artists engage in that. So just love that piece.
Yeah, it's definitely...
That's a geek out moment.
Yes. It was clearly made with love by a ton of people who all poured their specific crafts into it. And they did not shy away from showing the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think Lord of the Rings can be attributed to getting a whole generation of people into filmmaking in the same way that the original Star Wars trilogy can, like, easily.
Yeah. I think that's true. Let's take a look at how the game works. So, in a moment, we will see a game board with a familiar format containing 10 categories, each with 6 questions. On their turn, our contestants will pick one to test their knowledge against and proceed through from the easiest up to the most difficult, having approximately 5 seconds to answer. If they miss a question, their opponent will have their own 5-second window to steal if they wish. Once all 6 questions have been fielded, the turn passes to the next player, and they get to choose a new category from the list that we had before. Now, we thought this might be a little bit too simple, so we've made sure to add in a secret villain to keep our contestants on their toes. This villain could appear at any time, and when they do, some rules of the game are going to change. We hope that you're playing along with us at home. For those of you in the comments, try not to post an answer until you know until after both contestants have had a go at it. As always, I will offer the coveted $10 Chipotle gift cards to anyone who wins if they wish it. So, let's take a look at our categories. First up is Score of Shore, a category about Howard Shore's soundtrack to the films with a little twist. Next up is Just the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings, which I probably don't need to elaborate further on. Then it's LOTR at the Oscars, featuring questions about the awards the films have won. Then it's Literary Legacy, a category specifically about the books. Next comes parody and reference, which takes a look at some of the best humorous references. Next up is crafting cultures, a category about some of the amazing prop work done on the films. Then it's linguistic legerdemain, with questions on the languages of Middle-earth and their portrayal in the films. PJ's Projects is a category about some of Peter Jackson's other work and life. The Parting of the Forest primarily follows the careers of our cast. Finally, Peculiar Prequels, a category about the Hobbit trilogy and Rings of Power. Hate them if you want to. I don't care. They're neat.
Just one. The Parting of the Fellowship is specifically stuff that the cast members have done after Lord of the Rings. Just get that in there.
Yep.
All right. Oh my god! I literally just noticed like the ring on fire in the background, and that's awesome.
It's so dumb, but I'm stupidly proud of it. I think it's great. It just makes me happy. According to tonight's coin toss, T is first. So T, if you would like to choose a category, we will jump to that and we'll get started.
Crafting cultures.
Crafting cultures. Okay. So let's jump to our first one here. The way this works, I'm going to show you a prop from the films. And I would like for you to tell me, if you can, which Middle-earth culture crafted this item first. For a bonus point, if you could tell me which character this item belongs to. So question 1 is this one here.
I believe it's Elven Maid.
Correct.
And it's not a ring, but it is a ring of Barashir.
That's not correct. No.
It's not. Okay.
No. This is a like a belt piece that's worn by Arwen. But it is made by elves, so you get that point.
All right.
Next question here. Which culture crafted this item? For a bonus point, who does it belong to?
I'm going to say dwarves.
Dwarves did make this item. Any guesses who it belongs to?
Just because he's the main dwarf in Lord of the Rings, I'll say Gimli.
No, it's not Gimli's. Laura, would you like to steal that?
Is it Thorin?
It's not. No. This is actually Balin's mace. He only uses it in like one scene, but anyway, it's still a cool looking mace.
But that's a Hobbit question.
It is a Hobbit question. Yes.
We can do that.
We can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
There will be questions outside of just the Lord of the Rings. There will be some blending here happening, but yes. Okay. On to the next slide here. You got a ring wraith attack. Now, if you were doing something a little different, the ring wraiths might be bothering you. But right now, you're able to hide under this here log, and you're doing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to be careful of them in the future. Let's go on to the next one. All right. Which Middle-earth culture crafted this item? For a bonus point, who does it belong to?
Well, I know that it belongs to King Theoden.
Correct.
So I will assume then that was made by the Rohirrim.
Correct. Yes. That is 2 points for T there. On to the next one.
Laura's like, I could have got that one.
Yeah. Which Middle-earth culture crafted this item?
That's a boot of the Nazgul. So that would have been Mordor.
Correct. It's another 2 points for T. On to the next one. Which Middle-earth culture crafted this item, and who does it belong to?
That's another elven ring, and that's the ring that Gandalf wears.
Correct. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tiki. That's 3 in a row, is it not?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to introduce a new rule. Every time that you get 3 questions in a row correct, regardless of who's playing, you will earn yourself a ring of power. At the end of the game, if you have more rings of power than the other player, you win. regardless of how many other points you have. If
So
the
it's
ring
basically
wraiths,
the Mario Party stars.
yes. If the ring wraiths show up, they're going to steal a ring of power from you. And there might be one other thing that happens as well, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Last one in this category. The category is still yours, T. Which Middle-earth culture crafted this item? And for a bonus point, who does it belong to?
I'll go with elves again.
It is not correct. Laura, would you like to steal?
I believe it's Gondorian and the Rangers of Ithilien, specifically Faramir.
That's correct on both counts. That's 2 points for you.
Right.
That was my second guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Gulliver, I have a couple quick questions about
Yes,
the scoring.
absolutely.
So if they get one part of the question but not the other part, not the bonus part, and someone steals the bonus, does that still count towards the three?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
So we'll head back to our categories here. It is now Laura's turn to choose a category. Which one would you like?
I think I'm going to go with literary legacy.
I had a feeling. Let's take a look at that first question. The relationship of Aragorn and Arwen is given an in-canon historical precedent via the story of blank.
Baron and Luthien.
That is correct. Next
Gulliver, really quick. I'm sorry. In between rounds, does that count, or are we starting a new chain?
In between rounds counts, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. Which of the following is not a Maiar?
Vari?
Correct. I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me what they actually are.
Valar.
That is also correct. All right. Question 3. What folkloric Finnish saga became the core inspiration for the historical tales of the Silmarillion?
I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but the Kabbalah.
Yes, the Kalevala. You're correct. I believe that earns you a Ring of Power as well.
Indeed.
All right. Question 4. During the scouring of the Shire, the hobbits discovered the old mill has been replaced by an industrialized factory. What was the name of the former owner?
Ted Sandyman.
Correct. That is
I'm genuinely impressed at that one.
All right. Question 5. What does Bilbo give Thranduil at their parting in The Hobbit?
Doesn't he give him back his keys?
No. T, would you like to steal?
That's what I was going to say. An acorn.
It's not an acorn. No.
Okay.
He gives him a necklace that he was given by Dane.
Okay.
All right. Next question. And we have our secret villain. Villain for tonight is Gollum. When Gollum appears, you're going to get a riddle and 30 seconds on the clock to answer. Guess correctly, and you earn a Ring of Power from him. Guess wrong, and he takes one of yours. Are you ready for your riddle?
Yes.
Okay. My life can be measured in hours. I serve by being devoured. Thin, I am quick. Fat, I am slow. Wind is my foe. What am I?
Candle? I can't hear.
Candle is correct. You got it.
Okay.
All right. So you earn an extra Ring of Power. Yay! Well, still trying to play here. Stop.
All right.
Question 6. What cryptic epithet does Gandalf call Tom Bombadil near the end of Return of the King?
Oh.
Gotta make them harder as the category
Tom
goes.
Bombadil. Master of the River? No.
No, that's not correct. He probably does call him that, but probably not at that time.
Yeah.
T, what do you think? Any guesses?
I thought it was going to be I don't know if it's master. It's wisdom of ages or time. Is it about time?
He does say something about that, but the one I'm looking for here is he calls him a moss gatherer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I think is just a very strange thing. He says it in such a mean way. What's wrong with gathering moss? That sounds fine. But anyways.
Yeah, it's that same story though.
Correct, yes.
Gandalf was kind of a passive-aggressive dick in random parts of the book.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was fascinating, so I put it in there. All right, we're back to our categories. T, it is your turn to pick. Which category would you like?
Parody and reference.
Parody and reference. Let's do it. Released in 1968, the song "The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins" featured which Star Trek star?
William Shatner.
It's not. No, Laura, I'm going to pass it to you.
Leonard Nimoy.
There we go.
It is
Y'all
Leonard
need to look
Nimoy.
up the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
It's amazing. Yes. All right, question 2.
Code Geass, please refrain from. I'm glad you're here in the comments, but please refrain from posting answers in the chat if you could.
Yes.
Until after they've answered.
Yeah, give them a little bit of time, please. Yeah. I love the enthusiasm. I'm all about that. Question 2. Which famously melodramatic Legolas quote spawned a 10-hour remix on YouTube?
I believe it's they're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
That's absolutely correct.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
God. So good.
I believe that's what it was.
It is. You're correct.
It is.
Question 3.
Hilarious question, though.
Which of the following bands has not written a song about Middle-earth? It's tough. There's a lot of bands that have written songs about Middle-earth.
Tons have. I'll go with Iced Earth.
That's correct. You get it.
Just,
I'll also give you a bonus point.
There's
if
a
you can,
process of elimination.
Yeah, I'll also give you a bonus point if you can name a song from any of the others that's about Middle-earth, if you like.
I'm blanking. Of the song names. I can hear them in my head, too. I'm not going to get a bonus point for that.
Okay, no worries.
That's good.
I could name like 3 Zeppelin Middle-earth songs.
I was going to say, if you're not another band, I was going to say Zeppelin.
I considered putting in Zeppelin, but I was like, nah, that's too obvious.
Zeppelin would be too easy.
Yeah.
Like Zeppelin is like Middle-earth is kind of part of their identity almost.
Yeah. All right. Next question. The parody rap duo Lords of the Rhymes adopted which 2 Lord of the Rings characters as their stage personas?
Legolas and Gimli.
That's not correct. Laura, would you like to steal?
Tom Bombadil and Quickbeam.
That is correct. Yes. 2 characters who are not in the movies at all. But still delightful characters.
Indeed.
All right. Next question. In the South Park episode, The Return of the Fellowship of the Ring to the Two Towers, what is the forbidden object that acts as the ring?
A cigar band. I don't know.
It's not a cigar band. Laura, would you like to steal?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I wasn't watching South Park. I was watching Lord of the Rings.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is a pornography tape, is what it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense for the humor of the show.
Gulliver, your microphone was kind of muted, but I assume
can you
he
hear me?
can see the question.
Yep.
Right.
All right, I'm going to throw it over to Laura. Would
I
you
have
like
no
to
idea.
steal?
Jack Black.
Jack Black is correct. And that goes to you. All right, we're back to our categories. Laura, it is your turn. Which would you like?
Let's go with linguistic legend.
Sounds good. This might be my favorite category, just because it's so interesting to me, etymology of stuff. But anyways, question 1. In Fellowship of the Ring, Gandalf speaks what word to enter the doors of Durin?
Melon.
Correct. Bonus point if you can tell me what it means.
Friend.
It does. On to question 2. The black speech of the orcs is used throughout the films, but what controversial orcish line implies a strange anachronism?
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
That's exactly what it is. A menu implying the orc knows what a menu is, and therefore the concept of restaurants is pretty strange. It fits the tone. It's not about what you say, it's about the way you say it.
What can't we have some meat?
All right. On to the next question here. We're back with Gollum. So once again, if you guess the riddle, you'll get a ring of power. Guess wrong, and he's going to take one of yours. Are you ready?
Yes.
Only one color, but not one size. Stuck at the bottom, yet easily flies. Present in sun, but not in rain. Doing no harm and feeling no pain. What am I?
A beam of light?
That's not correct. I am sorry to say. I will have to take one of your rings away.
Okay. Only one color.
All right. Question number 3. The term Rohirrim translates roughly into the common speech as?
Horseman.
You're super close, but that's not quite right. T, would you like to steal?
I was going to say horse rider.
You're still super close, but not quite there. It is technically horse lords. Similarly with question 4, the Sindarin words for gray and brilliance combine to form the name
Gandalf.
It's not true. Sorry to say. T, would you
No,
like to
it's
still?
not. You're right.
No, I can't.
That is Mithril.
Yeah.
Next question. The language spoken historically by the dwarves is called. You have to have read the books to know this one.
How do we pronounce that word? It's dwarvish, but it's called Truzud or something. Like
You're very close. I'm tempted to give it to you, even though you didn't
K8.
pronounce it.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Kuzdul.
Kuzdul.
Yeah.
I think you get that one.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You knew what it was.
Yeah. Last question in this category. Which of the following is not an elven language? This is a tricky one.
I think it's Noldor.
You're correct. Noldorin
Yeah.
is an elven language, but
not Noldor.
Noldor is a place. And most of the people in Noldor speak Quenya.
Ooh, I'm breaking out in a sweat.
Whew! Well done.
Yeah, you're kicking my butt, Laura.
It's okay.
I'm humbled.
We are back at your turn here, T.
We'll go Loader at the Oscars.
Sounds good to me. Let me bring that up here. Who was the only actor from the trilogy to get nominated for an Oscar?
Viggo Mortensen.
That's not correct. Laura, would you like to steal?
For an Oscar, Sir McKellen.
That is correct. That point is yours. question 2. Who performed the Return of the King's Oscar-winning Into the West song?
Annie Lennox.
Correct. That point is yours. Question 3.
And she won.
She did, yeah. How many Oscars did Return of the King win during its historic sweep?
11.
11 is not correct.
Wait,
Would you like to steal?
That might actually be correct. I think I got that one wrong on fact checking. I think that is correct.
Hold for fact check.
Yeah, let me fact check that. Hold
let's
on.
do it.
Because I'm actually just now thinking, Return of the King. How many Oscars? Oh God. Yeah, 11. It was 11.
11 out of 11. Yeah.
So yes, you are correct then.
I'm
Well
terribly
done, you.
sorry about that, Gulliver.
No, it's okay. I apologize to T. I'm just pulling up my cues here. Okay. Question 4. Which of these categories did all 3 films not get nominated in?
Oh.
It's tricky because they did great at all of these things.
Mhm.
They did, and the other ones got at least 2 nods.
I'm going to have to throw it to Laura here. Would you like to steal?
Oh, okay.
Film editing?
That's not correct. Interestingly, the only one they didn't get all 3 nominated for was the Best Original Score, which is crazy to me.
Oh,
But anyways.
What was which one didn't get nominated?
I don't remember offhand.
Yeah,
I want to
that
say
is-
it was
that
Two
is
Towers,
crazy.
but I could be wrong.
The first
Uh-huh.
one didn't get a lot of nominations.
okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next question. What is the only category the Battle of Five Armies got nominated in?
They got a Razzie for like worst romantic scene.
Yes, I will give you a point for that for sure. But
They
that's
did.
not
They
the
did.
answer.
They did get a Razzie for that.
Yeah.
The only category down. I want special effects.
It's not correct. But Laura, would you like to steal?
I'm just gonna guess the score, the music.
That's not correct either. The only one that got nominated in was Best Sound Editing, which, as Tiki pointed out in the research phase, is kind of a pity nomination.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I'm also glad that the Oscars decided to just do like a best sound effects instead of like the
Mhm.
editing and mixing.
Yeah. All right, last question in this category. Can you name at least 3 people other than Peter Jackson to win an Oscar for their work on the original trilogy? There's about 20 of them.
Well, I'll start with Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh.
Correct. That's 2.
And since we've already done Howard Shore, Annie Lennox, yeah. So
You got those. So that's 4. I'll give you a bonus point for 5. If you give me more than 5, I'll give you a Ring of Power.
Ooh.
I think Alan Lee got
Correct.
an award. I think Richard. I know he got an award. What's his last name? From Weta Workshop, Richard.
You're
Funny
so
thing is, I
close.
know exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give that to you.
There's
I think,
lots.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that to you. That was a great run there. So I think you get a Ring of Power out of that one,
Yeah.
as well as 2 points. Well done.
What is that guy's last name, Gulliver?
Taylor.
Because-
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
there we
remember,
go. It was on the tip of my tongue
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy was very prevalent in the making of stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
phenomenal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. Is it my turn?
It is your turn. Yes.
The Parting of the Fellowship.
Parting of the Fellowship. Sounds good. Which cat did Ian McKellen play in Cats?
Oh, what's that? I didn't see that. Sir Magical or whatever his name is.
No, that's not correct. T, do
Mr.
you know?
Mistopheles.
No.
He plays Gus the theater cat, which I didn't expect people to know this, but it is a funny bit of trivia for sure. I can't believe he signed on for that role. Question number 2. Ian Holm plays Zach Braff's father in what 2000s cult classic rom-com?
Oh goodness gracious.
When I was in like high school, everybody was
2000s.
talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Zach Braff. Never Been Kissed.
Nope. T, your steal if you want it.
You got me.
Okay. It is Garden State.
Oh, sure.
Oh yes.
The
Oh,
movie
yes.
that everyone loves in high school and then slowly realizes how cringe it is.
Yes, yeah. If you're not looking back on high school and cringing a little bit, you're probably not.
Oh
cringing
man,
enough.
the first time I saw that movie, like post high school, was just like a fucking nightmare. I was like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
What did I ever see in this?" All right. Anyways,
Okay. Question 3. What was the name of Dom Monahan's lovable rock star character on Lost?
Charlie.
Charlie is correct. I'll give that to you. Charlie Pace. Question 4. Which film starring Viggo Mortensen won Best Picture?
Hidalgo.
It's not Hidalgo. That would be a much better choice than the one that won. T, up to you if you want to steal.
I think I'm thinking Hidalgo. It was the like in the desert. It was a desert movie. Like he was riding a camel or something.
I'm gonna have to Google if Hidalgo won Best Picture.
it absolutely did not.
No,
Okay.
it didn't.
I think I know the right answer. My second answer, but it's fine.
Yeah, so did not win Best Picture. No, unfortunately, the one that won is Green Book,
Hands
which is
down,
a
one of the
super
worst
appropriative
Yeah.
historical reduction of a film.
Yeah,
Probably
I was
the
gonna
worst
say
Best
that, and I was
Picture
like,
winner
no
the
way
past
it
20
won.
years.
I tried to forget that movie.
Yeah, me too.
No, it won, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was in Disneyland in line for the Storybook Land canal boats when I found out that won Best Picture. It's one of those, like, where were you moments.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so specific. I love it. Oh, man. Okay. Question 5. What is the name of Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd's podcast?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue too. Adventures in the Bush or something?
That's not correct. T, would you like to steal?
I forget what it is. It was a long
It
time
is
ago. I listened
The
to it.
Friendship Onion,
No.
which is an excellent name for a podcast. If you
It's
say
also
so.
an excellent podcast.
I haven't listened to it.
I listened to it
It's
a long
very
time
good.
ago. Yeah,
It's
it was
very
great. It was
fun.
great. But
I really love their chemistry together.
yep.
Yeah.
And they've had a lot of other actors on from the
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, highly recommend the Friendship Onion. Random plug.
Friendship Onion.
That's basically
Yeah, I'm
why I
not
put this
doing
question
good.
in here, is because just to plug it if people haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. On
Is
to
it
the
still
next-
going on? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure they might be on hiatus right now.
Okay.
I don't keep up with every episode.
Find out. Friendship Onion. We're just going to take a podcast
Yeah,
break.
Laura and I
Like-
are not on the
We're all just
computer
gonna
trying
listen
to
for a minute.
look up our answers right now. Just so you know.
Yep.
Yes.
Is yeah, looks like it's still going. Well, maybe not. Last episode posted was last year.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, we'll see, I guess. Okay. On to the next question. Looks like we've got another riddle.
Oh
Are you ready?
no.
Laura keeps getting the riddles, which could be both either really good or
Yes,
really
good
bad.
or bad.
Yeah.
What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years?
The letter M.
Good Lord.
No, go to the next.
That was right, Gulliver, right?
That was correct. Yes,
Okay.
so you get a Ring of Power.
Right.
Which LOTR cast member is confirmed to return for Amazon's animated series War of the Rohirrim?
Miranda Otto.
That is correct. Well done, you. I wasn't sure if anybody followed this except for me, so I am surprised to hear that you got it. All right, we are back to our categories. T, it is your turn. Which one would you like?
I'll go with just the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings.
Let's do it. This might be Tiki's favorite category, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Question 1. Which famous animation technique did Bakshi use to give the film its distinctly realistic character animation?
Motion capture.
That's not correct.
It's like an early version of motion capture, so
Yes.
it's like I'm tempted to give you the point for that, but it is
Sure.
not the correct terminology.
Is it? Can I steal?
You can.
Rotoscope?
That is
Yes,
correct.
that's what we were looking
Yes.
for. Yeah,
I will give you the point on the technicality there.
basically the same principle.
Yes.
I'm not going to get any of these, but go ahead.
Question number 2. Who voices Aragorn?
Oh, in the Ralph Bakshi. I have no idea. I don't know.
Laura, do you want to steal?
I don't know.
It is John Hurt.
Oh,
Beloved John Hurt. Question 3. The movie has a notorious cliffhanger ending during which iconic battle?
Helm's Deep.
That is correct. That point is yours. On to the next question. We have another riddle. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I am not clothes, but I cover your body. The more I'm used, the thinner I grow. What am I?
Hair.
Hair is not correct. I am sorry to say. Laura, would you like to steal here? I guess I can't give you a steal for this. That's not
that's
part of
okay.
this rule.
I don't know the answer anyway.
The answer is soap.
Mm.
Okay. Question number 4.
I don't know if they use a lot of soap in Lord of the Rings. I don't know
That's
if
true.
It's really,
I have to agree with that.
when they bathed, it was in the water, no soap.
Yeah. Could scrub some moss or like tree bark or something.
So
Just get
I
real
don't
gross
know
with
if
it.
I like that question, but that's okay.
Question 4. What character's name was changed from the original story?
Was it Aragorn?
It's not. Laura, would you like to steal?
I think it was one of the hobbits.
It was not one of the hobbits. So in this version, Saruman became Aruman because the producers decided that Sauron and Saruman were too similar. So
Are you, Mom?
there are some places where they say Saruman, and there are some places where they say Aruman. They were not consistent in putting all of them the same. But it is weird, and you can hear 3 or 4 times they say Aruman instead of Saruman.
My other guess was Sauron, so that's interesting.
Yeah, you're close there. Yeah. Question 5.
I saw this one time.
Yeah, same. What is the name of Ralph Bakshi's other famous animated wizard movie?
Merlin.
It's not Merlin. Laura, would you like to steal?
Wizards.
It is Wizards. Yes. Okay.
Was Merlin in it?
I don't know.
I think he was. I think he was the main
Never seen it.
character.
I don't know. You might be right. Question 6. In the planning stages, which famous band was originally slated to star in the film?
Oh, Black Sabbath.
It's not Black Sabbath.
No.
Laura, would you like to steal?
The Beatles?
The Beatles is correct. The Beatles
Seriously?
are apparently Tolkien fans, and they wanted to finance some Lord of the Rings movies on the condition that they got into it, but
Wow.
the deal fell through.
You may
That is
never
like
know.
one of
Yeah.
that is one of my ultimate like. God, I wish that would have been me.
Yeah, alternate reality,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey,
Beatles, Yellow Submarine, asked Lord of the
Well,
Rings.
well, I knew it wasn't
Samwise,
Aerosmith.
but do you happen to know where the Ring of Power would be located?
Nice. That was horrible.
Yeah.
I know that was horrible. I apologize.
That was an awful category, Tiki. Of all the Lord of the Rings questions, the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings is a
I've
category.
got a particular fondness for the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings.
Look, I mean, we could have done the stuff that's in the commentary that everybody knows about the movies, but we
Yeah.
got to get to some of the deep cuts here.
Sure.
So,
That's what it means to geek out, I guess.
yes, absolutely.
every episode
We're not going to put in. Go ahead.
Every episode we tend to put in at least one joke category like that.
Yes.
So Gulliver, what's another example of a joke category that we've done?
We did the Nintendo one, and we had just the Donkey Kong rap, the DK
Right.
rap. We did our Pixar one, and we had just Cars 2 for
Yeah,
one category. So, yeah, I mean, we tend to stick a little bit like that.
So,
I mean,
honestly, the meta, if you're playing in one of these,
Absolutely.
is try to think of like the most stupid part of the fandom, and there will likely be a category based on it.
Right.
There is like 6 original Lord of the Rings Hobbit quotes in the animated version of The Hobbit. There's like 6 lines that are actually from the book.
Okay.
The rest are not.
The rest are not.
It's a pretty small amount, yeah.
I
So
love that one. I played that one.
It would be a great category, like which lines were actually
That would be
Yeah.
in the
I
animated
like
version of The Hobbit.
Yeah. And to be fair, if you're the type of person to tune into like a Lord of the Rings trivia show like this, you probably already know the questions like, you know, Viggo Mortensen actually broke his foot when he kicked that orc helmet. Like
He
those
what?
are the like base level questions. We want to get to some of the harder ones.
Absolutely.
The pop culture impact, the strangeness of the films. But, yeah, that's where we're at here. You guys are both hardcore Tolkien. You've done very well so far, for what it's worth.
All right.
I believe it is Laura's turn to pick a category here. Which one would you like?
Peculiar prequels.
Let's do it. Peculiar prequels. Much of the Rings of Power series is set on an island doomed to sink. What is it called?
Numenor.
Numenor is correct. On to the next question. You have another riddle. Are you ready? What has cities but no houses, forests but no trees, water but no fish? Remember,
A
you got
map?
all 30 seconds. A map is correct. Wow, you're good at these. Somebody over here's got a master's degree or something. All right. Question 2. It's a Ring of Power for Laura. Can you name at least 5 of the dwarves that travel with Bilbo to Erebor? Bonus point for all of them.
Balin, Dwalin, Fili, Kili, Thorin,
That's 5.
Biffer, Buffer, Bomber, Dory, Nori, Ori, Gloin, and Oin.
That's it. You got all of them.
Wow.
All 13. Well done. Question 3. In the Battle of 5 Armies, what unusual mount does Dane Ironfoot ride?
A pig.
It is a pig. Yeah, it's a weird boar. Which is odd because everybody else is riding goats, but he's riding a boar. Anyway, it's fine.
Because he's the king?
Yeah.
Huh?
And the kings get pigs, I guess. Question 4. In the Rankin and Bass Hobbit, there you go. Which of these physical traits does Smaug not possess?
Acid spit.
Acid spit is not correct.
Oh.
He drools acid spit onto the gold.
Oh, yes.
At one point in there. Would you like to steal, T?
I want to say hair.
He does have hair. He's got big tufts of hair on his face and on his back in place of like spines. Correct answer is the spear point tail.
Oh, darn.
I think the hair is the weirdest part, to be honest. It doesn't
That's
feel
what I was
very
saying.
dragon-like. He's kind of cat-like. But anyways. Question 5. What legendary item does Elrond geek out about, appropriate, when he arrives at Celebrimbor's workshop in Eregion?
I'm blanking.
This is from the Rings of Power.
Yeah, Elrond gets there. The smithy of Celebrimbor.
Okay, I want something more specific than that. So, T, I'll throw it to you. Would you like to steal?
I thought it was like the mold or the.
That is not correct.
Oh, what is it?
It is Feanor's hammer, the tool that forged the
sure.
Silmarils,
Ah.
on display, and he waxes poetical about it.
Yeah.
Celebrimbor complains that his work will never be as good.
Yes.
Question 6. Who is the only actor to have an on-screen speaking role in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Hobbit trilogy, and the Rings of Power series?
Sir Ian McKellen?
That's not correct. Would you like to steal, T?
That's a great question. I didn't know anybody did that.
Yeah.
Ian Holm.
It's not Ian Holm, no. The correct answer is Jed Brophy. Jed Brophy played Sharku, the Warg Rider captain in the original trilogy. He also played a Ringwraith.
Nori.
He was Nori the dwarf
Nori,
in The
yep.
Hobbit, and he plays Vrath, the orc captain in Rings of Power.
Oh my goodness.
He's under heavy makeup in all three of those roles, so that
Yep.
does make it a tricky one. But this is our number 6 category, or number 6 question in this category, so we had to make it a little tough. All right, back to our categories. T, it is your pick. I believe left we have Score of Shore and PJ's Projects.
Yeah, I'll go with Score of Shore.
All right, let's do it. So, this has a little bit of a twist to it. I'm going to play a piece of music, and I would like you to either identify what's happening or the name of the song if you want. Either one, you'll get the point. However, I thought that was a little bit too easy. So all of these are covers or alternate versions of those songs. So, without further ado, here's the first one.
Oh, that's Pippin singing to the steward.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, so,
He is singing to Denethor there.
yeah, Denethor. Yeah.
Yep, Edge of Night
Yep.
is the name of the song. Question number 2. What moment is this from? If it will play, hopefully. There we go.
Oh, that's the burning of the forest.
Correct. Yes. And it is the Siege of Isengard.
Yep.
All right. This one's my favorite.
It's a really bad cover of the Fellowship song.
It's not the Fellowship song. Laura, I will give you an opportunity to steal there.
Concerning hobbits.
Concerning hobbits.
Was that concerning hobbits?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Shire theme. Or
I think the
Concerning
reason why you're thinking of the Fellowship is because they do play that song during the iconic shot where all the Fellowship are walking on the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that one's my favorite. Good lord, that's funny. Okay, next one.
Is that the when they're coming up to now you said in the into the when Gandalf, Gimli, and Legolas are coming up into the city?
I'll give that to you.
Edoras?
Yeah, it's the Rohan theme. Yes.
I couldn't get Edoras in my head.
That's okay. I think that you, like you said before, the intention is there. I could see what you're getting at. You've got a riddle coming up here. Are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, here we go. You cannot see me, you cannot touch me, you cannot hear me, you cannot taste me. You can use me or create me, and you can find me if you look. I can be interrupted easily. Some enjoy me, and others fear me. What am I?
The dark?
Sorry, the dark is not correct. You're very close, though. The answer there is silence.
Mm.
Okay. Next one here. What moment is this from?
That the healing halls in Minas Tirith.
It's not correct, I'm afraid.
No?
Laura, would you like to steal?
I think that's Gollum's song.
It is Gollum's song. That point goes to you. Might also be the nicest piece of music in this selection here. Just with the cover, it's really high quality. I did put everybody at the end of the episode, by the way, everybody who did these covers. So if you're listening and you're like, I want this, it's in there.
I want that really bad flute cover.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, if you want it, it's funny. I listened to that probably 10 times when I was researching this. It just made me laugh. All right, last one here.
Tip the glasses and crack the plates, blunt the knives and bend the forks. That's what BlueDragonFive hates. Smash the bottles and burn the corks. Cut the cloth and tread on the fat. Pour the milk on the pantry floor.
That's the dwarf song
Leave
in
the tongue
Bilbo's
on the
house
bedroom mat.
in The Hobbit.
The wine on every door.
That is
Dump
correct.
the fox in a
For a
boiling
bonus
bowl.
point, who's singing there?
Who's singing?
Yeah,
John Rhys Davis.
it's not John Rhys Davies. That is a recording of Tolkien himself singing that song.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow. That's
Cool.
crazy.
An interview, and somebody asked what it would sound like, and he did that.
Wow!
So
Can I
they
just
actually
say that song is probably my favorite part of the entire Hobbit trilogy.
and they actually made the music pretty close to his
Mhm.
original style.
I was trying to
It's-
think of the name of the song.
Yeah,
Is it Bend the Forks?
I think that's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
That's
but
what Bill Baggins is.
yeah, I
I don't know if it has a
truthfully, I
name.
don't
In the
know.
book, it's just like the lyrics
Yeah.
show up. There's no like,
Correct. Yeah.
there's no title for those songs.
I think there's only one left, right?
There's only one left. PJ's Projects.
Alrighty, we'll
You
see.
ready?
I'll try.
Most recently, Peter Jackson directed a documentary using previously unseen footage of which rock band?
Of what rock band? Aerosmith?
It's not Aerosmith.
Oh,
Would you
I'll
like
take
to
that
steal
one.
T?
Yeah, Get Back, the Beatles.
That is correct. Yes. Another Beatles connection. Question 2.
It was phenomenal too.
It is, yeah. In PJ's King Kong, what activity do Kong and Anne do in Central Park?
A picnic?
It's not a picnic. This is the only part of this movie I remember. T, up to you if you want to steal here.
They play hopscotch.
They don't play hopscotch. They go ice skating.
Just imagining
Okay.
Kong playing
Yeah.
hopscotch.
It's very. I mean, it would be
It's
about
absurd.
about
The,
as
the
you know,
ice
as
skating
absurd
was
as the ice
absurd too.
The ice skating was kind of absurd, yes.
I have bad news. We have a ring wraith attack.
Oh.
I'm going to steal one of your rings here.
No. I don't know how many I have. I keep losing track.
Well,
You're doing great.
That's okay, because it's kind of fun to not know until the end how you did. Question 3. What best-selling thriller was adapted by Peter Jackson into a film starring Saoirse Ronan?
Lovely Bones.
Lovely Bones is correct. That is your point. Which of the following is not something that appears in the zombie comedy Dead Alive?
I've seen it. Let's go with a cannibal monkey.
A cannibal monkey does appear in
I was gonna say,
Dead Alive.
that does exist.
Yeah, T, would you like to steal?
I'm gonna go with the. I mean, because I think I remember the other ones. Kickboxing Priest,
The kickboxing priest is in that movie.
isn't it? Oh, shit. The bunny costume's in there.
The bunny costume is not in there.
It's
That's
not
the
in
only
there?
one. Yeah. There's somebody who has like a fox kind of mask or something like that, but
Oh, I was thinking it was
there's
a
not
bunny.
a bunny
Okay,
costume. Yeah.
I know the lawnmower's in there.
The lawnmower is definitely in there. Yeah. All right. Next question. The Frighteners, a comedic horror film about a man who can see ghosts, shares a lead with what iconic franchise?
What iconic franchise? I have no idea. Indiana Jones?
It's not Indiana Jones. T, would you like to steal?
Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars either. It stars Michael J. Fox, the star of Back to the Future.
That's what I was going to say, and then I didn't say it.
Well, I'm sorry, but you didn't get that point.
No, I know.
Last question here. This R-rated puppet parody, Meet the Feebles, marked the first collaboration between Peter Jackson and his lifelong partner, blank.
Fran Walsh.
Fran Walsh is correct. That point is yours. So, we've completed all the categories, which means we're going to move on to the soapbox. So as we tally up the final rings and points, we're going to take a minute to break out the soapbox and ask our contestants to step up and take a stand. Named in honor of the late, great Stan Lee and his famous column in the back of Marvel Comics, we are going to ask each of our contestants a question about the best things within the fandom of the evening and ask them to give us an answer, a long-form, verbose answer that explains not just why they are factually correct, but morally correct. Just like Stan would have done. I expect the two of you to agree with various forms of theology to be real good here. These final open questions can award anywhere between 0 and 5 points, depending on the case you make for your answer. As a special tonight, we might even consider awarding an extra ring of power. So, T, you're first here.
Okay.
Your question is, what is the best change from the books in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Into the movies.
In the movies, yes.
I think the best change is the scope. I think that what Peter Jackson did in the adaptation was create the vastness of each of the Isengard army, the Rohirrim coming into Helm's Deep, the vastness of the armies in Minas Tirith from the Easterlings, the vastness of the men from the mountain coming in, the Corsairs. I mean, I think what he did is just kind of he gave us a visual representation of what I don't think anybody's mind could fathom, the amount of both protagonists and antagonists in the midst of those battle scenes. So I think they came alive in a way that were beyond the imagination of the reader. And I just think that was one of the many things that Peter Jackson gave us as geeks around this, is just this massive scale of battle scene. And obviously Richard Taylor from the Weta Workshop was super instrumental in all that. But I think it's Jackson's vision for creating that, what seemed like a battle that, kind of took place. And it was focused on the characters in the books. And in the movies, it was just the immensity of the whole thing, with a cut to the characters when they needed to. So that happens obviously in the last two films in amazing ways.
I agree. I like that answer a lot. All right, Laura, let's go to your prompt here. If you could adapt one of Tolkien's posthumously published works for film, which one would it be and why?
I would do the story of Beren and Luthien, because it's not the whole Silmarillion, so it's not going to be too convoluted. It's got a nice beginning and kind of a nice ending, but it's a love story. It's an adventure story. You fight, monsters. You talk to the deities, and it's, when you read it, you want to see it. It's something that stirs up your heart, and you're like, oh, you can pick, like, oh, I would cast so and so as this and so as that. Like, you can visualize it, but it's something that needs to reach a wider audience than just the people who read the Silmarillion and just the people who read all the extra books. It's as wonderful as the Lord of the Rings. It's as, mysterious. It's as graphic. We've got elves and dwarves and werewolves, and you've got an oath, and the messages are very, honor, love, faithfulness, true to your word, steadfast, trustworthy. What happens if you break faith with your comrades, with yourself? It's just beautiful.
All right. So, after taking a stand on the soapbox, our contestants have played their last cards of the game. As the rings of power are totaled, I want to take a moment to thank each of you for waving your geek flags with us tonight, and see if you had any final thoughts about how the game went. Laura, how do you think things went for you? Any reflections on these categories here?
I knew simultaneously more than I thought I did and less than I thought I would. That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. You never know what it's going to be until you get there, and I think that's half the fun. T, how about you? Any reflections on the game tonight?
Oh, I'm kind of humbled. Partly by the quiz makers who went to obscurity pretty quickly. And so, but I honor that because I love the obscurity in a lot of ways. I just, as I was reflecting on my previous answer, I just like the chills I still get when I watch Aragorn on Brigo looking over the cliff at the march towards Helm's Deep and the army that is coming. Like that's still a chilling scene. And when the rain falls, it's just a phenomenal. I mean, and that's not in the books at all. It's just like what a powerful visual thing that Jackson did there.
Absolutely. I think we're all here tonight because we love the Lord of the Rings, and we love the collective impact that the original trilogy and their associated films have had on pop culture as a whole.
Yeah.
I think, we wouldn't have shows like Game of Thrones without Lord of the Rings. We wouldn't have basically any like high fantasy, any sword and sorcery stuff still
Pretty much
kicking
the
around.
fantasy genre as we know it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It really died out in the 90s for quite a while. It was hard to get a fantasy film until Lord of the Rings came in. And now we've got so many. Granted, many are pale comparisons. But
yeah. I always think, the Hobbit is like the disappointing trilogy, but it was still amazing.
Right.
And it would, and it's only disappointing in contrast to Lord of the Rings.
Right.
You know, given itself, it would be like the best thing ever. You know, but you have to compare.
If that came out first.
If it came out first,
And it just reeks of producer meddling, I think, is the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
it just shouldn't have been 3 movies, honestly.
Yeah. It really feels like.
But I just gobbled up the 3 movies though. Like I just
sure.
Give me more content. Give me more Middle Earth. I mean,
absolutely.
That's where I'm at. It's like anything set in Middle Earth, I'm gonna watch. And I mean, you can criticize Rings of Power all you want, but you know, take me back to Middle Earth, and I'm there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So.
It's not perfect, neither of the Hobbit films, but still Middle Earth. Still awesome to watch. Still awesome to play.
It's my childhood fantasy reading. You know, it's what I did when I was in middle school, and you know, so that's where I found my home.
Yeah, I love that. All right, Tiki, do we have some results for tonight?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Who has the highest total rings of power?
Laura.
Laura has the highest total rings of power. How close were we in terms of rings and points? I'm curious.
Points, we were relatively close, within 5 points of each other. We have T has 28, Laura has 32.
Okay.
But unfortunately, with the rings, it was a blowout.
Sure.
And I think part of that is probably because Laura kind of lucked out with the riddles.
Yes.
And so, Laura ended up... She lost 2 rings along the way, but she still came up with 3. And T, unfortunately, you got 2 rings that you then simultaneously lost with the riddles. So, I will say that getting chaining the 3 points in a row was a lot more rare of a thing than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting. I definitely be down to kind of definitely not every episode, but I think that this dynamic of the secondary currency for the points, I think it's got potential.
Sure.
We need to fine tune it a little, maybe. All right.
Sure. All right. Well, Laura, your prize is the eternal satisfaction of having known more things about someone about something than someone else at this one particular moment in time. So, congratulations there. Thanks so much for joining us.
She's never gonna let me forget it.
It's true. Yeah.
I will say, I went into this. I even told Jacob. Did I not tell you, Jacob? Oh, T. Michael's probably gonna win.
Yeah. You also asked me to quiz you with Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit, and I was like, I'm not going to help you train. It's so against the. I'm not gonna coach you on how to win the game. That's not fair at all.
To be fair, I think a lot of the stuff that we put into this would have not made it onto a Trivial Pursuit.
Right?
That's true.
That's part of what we wanted, because the Trivial Pursuit is the stuff that a lot of people know, right?
Exactly.
Anyways. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Code Geass Anime Fan, thanks so much for tuning in and for throwing some comments in there. I see that you mentioned the Jack Black also played Spider-Man in PB Sketch. Yeah, Jack Black. He must have had a contract or something with MTV because he was in a lot of those little sketches.
I think he must have had a contract with Viacom in general because he was in a lot of Nickelodeon stuff too.
Yeah. But thanks so much for joining us. We hope that you'll be back next time to geek out with us.
Woo!
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!